Back to class. Now, in the previous class, we've been able to learn the operations of numbers regarding negative and positive numbers. And in the last class, we've also been able to see that all negative or all positive number or any positive number is greater than any negative number, no matter how big the negative number could look inside. Are you getting it? So we've been able to learn all of these things. In case you miss the first part of these lessons, please go back to my channel. Now you'll definitely see the video, and please watch and comment, subscribe. Thank you very much. Now let's see. Now the second part, the next part here is going to be dealing with what addition of these numbers. What do I mean? What I mean is we have a minus 3, we have plus 2. Now I want to add these two numbers. Now, how do I add these two numbers? Minus 3 plus 2 here. Now it's a very simple process, but I want you to have this at the back of your mind. Anytime a negative sign is preceded a number, don't forget it's a negative number. So anytime you're having a negative number, it simply means that you are owing or you are borrowing that amount. It simply means that at this point here, we are owing or you are owing 3 naira. But every time you have a plus in front of a number, it means what? You are returning back that amount. So I'm having minus 3 here, I'm having plus 2 here. So it means I'm owing 3 naira, then I am returning, I'm giving back that person 2 naira. Do you understand me? What I'm trying to say is, now I'm having minus 3 plus 2. In a normal process, someone would have, I won't call it a normal process because it's going to be a wrong process. If you just say your 3 plus 2 is 5 and you are putting your answer to be minus 5, it's a wrong process. But the right process here is you need to understand the process. You need to understand that when a negative sign is before a number, it means you are owing that number, you are borrowing that number. So it means you borrow 3 naira, you borrow 3, and you give the person that is now you own this amount. The amount that carries the positive sign belongs to you. Please have that at the back of your mind. The amount that carries, the figure that carries what? The positive sign belongs to you. Why the value that carries the negative signs means what? You are owing that amount. Now look at this. Now if you look at this now, you are owing 3 and you are paying back 2. So if you are doing this now, two things must definitely happen. Is either you are still owing that person, or you are collecting change, or you are not even owing at all. But at this point here, now you borrowed 3 as a value or as an amount from somebody. Now after you borrow 3, then you return. Now this plus 2 belongs to you. I told you when you have plus 2, that is the plus any number means that number belongs to you. So you borrow 3 naira and you own this and you give the person back. So you are returning this money back. You borrowed this. This is the amount you borrowed. Then you returned this. So in the next example, I'm just going to be using my P and I'm just going to be using my R for returned. Are you getting it? So you borrow, let me use capital R here. So you borrow this and you return this. Now, if you are borrowing this, definitely what will happen? You borrow 3, you give 2. It simply means you are still owing. Do you understand that simple process? Now you borrowed 3. Now just assume within yourself, oh, I borrowed 3 from a friend, 3 naira, $3 from a friend, and the friend later on I gave the friend $2. So when I gave the friend $2, it simply means I'm still owing the friend. How much are you owing the friend? It means you are owing the friend. You are still owing that friend $1. So it means the answer here is going to be what? $1. You're owing the friend $1 because you are owing. Please, for every time your answer is still left with owing, so it simply means your answer is going to be minus. So because you are still owing the person, so your answer is going to go -1. So you can have your minus 3 plus 2. That is when you owe 3 naira and you returned 2 naira, then you can have what? -1. Now let's see this example. So another one is what? -5 plus 8. -5 plus 8. This is the amount you borrowed. Now you borrowed all of this. You borrowed this and what? You returned this. So if you are borrowing this, you borrowed 5 and you returned 3. What will happen? Definitely you are collecting change. You are collecting because you've paid back more than what you owe. or you borrowed, sorry. So what change am I collecting at this point? You are collecting what? You are collecting $3. So when you are collecting change back, so your value is going to be plus 3 or what? Or just 3. So it's very simple. Now look at this again. I'm going to be trying this again. So let's see this minus 5, I'll be minus 8. So minus 5 minus 8 here. Now at this point here now when you look at this very well, please, I want you, before I give solution to this, now I want you to probably do this at the count of 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Write down your answer down. Let's see. Now let's see what the answer is going to be. Now look at this. At this point here, this year is borrowed. This year is also borrowed because it is minus 5 and minus 8. The year has no plus. So we are having minus 5 minus 8. So you borrowed $5. You borrowed $5. You borrowed $8. That's the meaning. So what have you borrowed? Now you are not collecting change at this time, but you've borrowed, that is, you've borrowed in total of what? Of 11 or of 13. So it simply means our answer here is going to be minus 13. I told you, don't forget, when you are still owing, your answer is going to be minus 13. Now, one logic I want you to understand about this point here is, at the point of minus minus, what do I mean by minus minus? Now, look at this. When you have your minus 3, I mean minus 4. Now, at this point, you are borrowing. So what we're just doing is we are just adding up the amount that we've borrowed, then you put a negative sign. So a fast way of doing this is when you're having a minus and a minus. Don't forget we don't have a multiplication sign in between them. We've not gotten there yet. But understand this first. When you have minus 3, minus 4, minus a number. So a faster way of doing this is just sum of these two. Now 3 plus 4 is what? Is 7. Then just bring one of the minus. So let's explain it the way we've always explained this principle here. So I borrowed 3 naira. Now the amount you borrowed 3 naira. The amount you borrowed what? You borrowed 4 naira here. I mean, so how much are you borrowed, or how much have you borrowed all together? You've borrowed what? 7 naira. That is, I'm going to be adding 3 plus 4. So to make this. Now let's see one more example here. On this minus 5 minus 9. Now look at this now. Minus 5 minus 9, like I've told you, is faster way of doing this. Just tell me that 5 plus 9, or since it's minus, put your minus. 5 plus 9 is what? Is 14. That's all. So if you'll be using this principle, the principle here is you borrowed what? You borrowed $5. I mean, you also borrowed what? You also borrowed $9. So in total, since you are still owing that person, so it simply means in total here, it's going to be what? That will be minus 14. That's all. So let's take one more example on probably, let's see. Okay, I think one more thing I'm going to be explaining before we end this video is we have something when a smaller number. Let me use this. That 3 minus 8. Now look at this here. When we have 3 minus 8 here, now this 3 minus 8 is also the same thing as, it can be written as, or that will be plus 3 minus 8 here. So plus 3 minus 8 means you own this 3 naira. It's still the same process, because this can actually be rearranged as this. It can also be rearranged as minus 8 plus 3. It's still the same. Don't forget, the reason why I wrote plus 3 here is because I told you a number that has no sign before it. Now this number here is having no sign before it. Is also in the first video. I get in the initial video we made. Now I told you that a number that has no sign before it can also be regarded as a positive number. So this means that I've written my 3 here to be plus 3. It's the same thing. My 3 here is the same thing as plus 3. Then I have my minus 8. Minus 8 here is here. So, and this can, if I want to rearrange, no sign is changing. So my minus 8 is coming first, then my plus 3 is coming here. So this here is the same thing as this, and it's also the same thing as this. Why this is also the same thing as this? They're all the same. I've just rearranged them the same. Now look at this. Now if I'm solving this here, this is plus 3. So it means I've borrowed. This is the amount borrowed. Amount borrowed is what? Is 8 naira. Then the amount returned is what? The amount returned is what? Is 3 naira plus 3. 8 was borrowed and 3 was returned. What would happen? It simply means that person, or you are still owing. That is the meaning. That is the amount you borrowed I mean, the amount you borrowed is greater than the amount you returned. Simply means you are still owing. So how much are you owing? See, because you are still owing, your answer is going to be minus. Then how much are you owing? That is 8 minus 3 years is going to be what? It's going to be 5. Does that make sense at all? Now let's see this also, the same thing. My 3 here minus 8. 3 minus 8 here. Now 3 minus 8 here is going to be what? Very simple. 3, the same process, that is plus 3 minus 8. That is, I returned. You can even work with the minus first. That is, I borrowed. That is, the amount you borrowed is 8. And you returned what? You returned what? You returned 3. So, in conclusion, that is, you are owing what? You are owing 5. The same thing here, that you are having your minus 8 here. That is the amount that is borrowed. The amount borrowed is what? The amount borrowed is what? Is minus 8. And the amount returned is plus 3. So, in conclusion here, we can then say this here can be equals to what? That is borrowed 8 naira. Are you getting it? That is, you borrowed $8 and you returned $3. That is, the amount you borrowed is more than the amount you returned. Definitely, you are still owing. So, how much are you owing? You are owing what? $5. So, I'm going to be giving, please try this and give your answers in the section. So, do this. Simplify or evaluate or give answers to this. Number 1, minus 9 minus 8, minus 5 plus 5, minus 8 plus 4, 4 minus 9, 6 minus 12. Now, another thing before we call, I remembered something, and now there's a trick I'm going to be introducing this year. There's a trick I'm going to be introducing here, and that trick here, the trick I'm going to be introducing here is when you're having negative numbers. Now, look at this point. At this point here, I think I need to bring it forward. Okay, let me rub off this. Now, look at this here. This question here, 3 minus 8. We all know 3 minus 8 is minus 5. I've explained that. Now, let me give you this trick for easy calculation. Now, when a small number, when you have a case whereby a small number is subtracting a big number, it's a trick. You know, we did a trick here for this year. For every time we're having minus number, all you need to do is just add those two numbers together and then you give it a minus. When it is minus number, I mean, minus number equals what? Minus the addition of the numbers. That's all. Now, the same thing here. Now, at this point here, when you have 3 and minus 8, when a small number, please, this is another trick. Take note of this. When a small number is subtracting a what? A big number, the answer is what? Just add up your minus. Add up minus. Then 8 minus 3 is 5. So this is what I've just done. This is a small number subtracting a big number. So what I'm going to do is what? Now, add minus. Then 8 minus 3 is 5. Now, let's see another example. Now, 4 minus 4, 4 minus 9. 4 minus 9 is, this is a small number subtracting a big number. Add minus, now 9 minus 4, this is going to be 5. Please, you need to take note that your 4 minus 9 is not equals to 5. No, there's a difference between minus 5 and 5. You know, don't forget your minus 5 means you are still owing. While your 5 is what is plus 5, it means it belongs to you. And definitely your plus 5 here, your 5 here is greater than minus 5. So these two numbers, don't say they are the same thing. It is 5, 5, no. Please don't equate this. They are not equal. This is minus 5, this is plus 5. And definitely your plus 5 is what is greater than minus 5. Thank you very much. See you in the next class. Please do not forget to subscribe. If you're enjoying this channel, please try to share to others that you feel that they will need this channel more. So we are going to be educating so many people, even teachers, mathematics teachers, students, and everybody that feel or wishes to learn more about mathematics. Please do me a favor by subscribing, and you can also ask any question. Ask any question relating to mathematics. I'm going to be providing or making a video for you. Thank you very much. But if I were making a video for you, you must have subscribed to my channel. Please share, watch. Thank you very much. God bless you.